In today's video, I'm going to give you a strategy that will help reduce overwhelm and reduce your stress and anxiety. Hi, I'm Christopher Paul Jones, the breakthrough expert. So one of the things that determines your anxiety, how bad you feel, is the external demands versus your internal resources. Now, what does that mean? Well, it means basically that all the things you have to do in your life, all the pressures put upon you versus your perceived ability to cope. So how can you deal with that? Well, one of the things is to create more resources, change your perceptions, change your emotions, do all those things to boost that up so you have more resources. And that's what I cover in a lot of my tips and tricks, which you can subscribe to the channel and get more of. And of course, you also get in my anxiety and stress phobia kits, flying phobia kits, which you can download for free. Just the info button's up there. But today I'm going to give you the other side. I'm going to give you the strategic side, which is how do you deal with all these demands coming in? So your body, your mind is more able to cope. The first step is to think about everything you have in your life, all the pressures, all the stresses, all the external demands. And it doesn't matter how big or small they are, because they may still be affecting you on some level, however small. So just think about them and write them all down. Just write them all down. Spend a few minutes just doing that. Pause this video, take a few minutes or however long you need to make a list of every demand in your life currently. And sometimes the very act of doing that will be overwhelming because you go, oh, there's a lot. I want you to read through that list. And what you'll find is very often some of those demands that you've put upon yourself are only your expectations for yourself. They're not other people's. Or you've made it a much bigger deal than it is. So you've gone, oh, I have to do this. Well, who says you have to? And what would happen if you didn't? Oh, well, this would happen. Okay, and what's the worst thing about that? So become aware of that, and that can sometimes, those things that you thought were so important, you go, well, it might not be as important as I'm making it. The next step is to number them out of 10 or 100 or 1,000, depending on how many demands you have, and prioritize. So 1 being the highest, 99 being the lowest, and just go through that. And obviously you can change, so you can go, oh yeah, that's a 5. Oh no, actually it's probably a 7, and you can adjust and take your time just to number them all the way down. And again, pause this video to do that. Sometimes what I often find with clients, if I do this, some of the low ones, the ones that are 98, on the list, are the thing that they've been thinking about 15 times a day. But when they actually look at it, they go, well, actually, it doesn't make that much a difference whether I do it or not. It doesn't affect the world around me. It's not a big deal, but it has been in the mind. And again, just notice those. And then what I want you to do is take those top priorities, and you probably only need the first few, the first 5, and make them manageable. Now, what do I mean by that is, well, if you create something that's very big in your mind, like let's say, oh, I have to paint the house. Silly example, but I have to paint the house. Okay, so I could be working for a week, 2 weeks, and not have completed that. I could have painted several rooms, but the goal was to paint the house. And so when you look at my list here and go, well, I haven't achieved anything on my list. Now, what happens is very often when you're working and working and you don't feel you've made any progress, you become deflated, you become lethargic, you become distracted. You go, well, what's on the TV? Let me do something else. So if you break it down into smaller chunks, like, okay, I need to paint the skirting board or one wall of the house, and then I need to paint the next wall, and so on and so forth. You'll find that each time you tick that off and you accomplish something, you'll get more and more energy and you'll want to do more and more. So try it at home, notice how you get on. So first, what I want you to do is make a list. Then think about how the demands you've put on yourself, how real they are. Then I'd like you to number them. And again, notice, have the high priorities really been taking up most of your thinking, or has it sometimes been the lower ones? And then what I want you to do is break it down into smaller, manageable chunks, where things that you believe you can achieve in that time. And notice how much more you can get done, and more importantly, what happens to your stress levels when you do that. Please leave a comment below, let me know how you get on. And of course, subscribe to this channel. If you like this video, please like, subscribe, and of course share. Till next time, I'm Christopher Paul Jones.